Dun, dun, dun! Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Robin Vi Carpenter Briscoe, your favorite spiritual life coach. And I am here to celebrate with you. Do, 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 do. Oh my goodness. We have made it. Excuse me. We have made it to day 13. Day 13 of the magic. Whoop. That was really inelegant. The magic and the crystals. Yes. Yes. Who's excited? I'm so excited. Each day the practice gets deeper and more meaningful and just more wonderful. And what's really great for me is that I'm getting to do it with you. I love it so much. I love each element, each thing, each thought, each time that we go through this. I'm reminded all over again of not only why gratitude is so important, also all of the things that I'm grateful for. Yes, I'm grateful for you to begin with. So let's get going. So today is making all of your wishes come true. Well, who doesn't want that, right? Like, period. End of story. Who doesn't want all of their wishes to come true? I can't imagine anyone raising their hand for that. So there wasn't really like a quote that I loved that was part of the chapter. So I chose a relational quote. Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. That is Melanie Beatty. I just thought that was perfect, right? If we're talking about, being grateful for things for things yet to come, which is what this chapter is about, yes, then that's like, we've already done I'm grateful for what I've had, and I'm grateful for what I have, and I'm grateful for what's yet to come, but I'm grateful for it now. So, second quote, excuse me. If you find that the only things coming to mind or out of your mouth are the challenges and injustices of your life, then taking time to focus on gratitude can truly manifest great change in your life and perspective. That's me. So we are not only shifting the energy toward, so that you are grateful for what you already have, we're shifting it toward the grateful for what hasn't existed yet. And the reality is, it already exists. It already exists in the consciousness, right? The money, sorry, there's a thing poking me. If you already if you were looking for money, right? You were waiting for the money to come and be in your bank account, correct? The money itself already exists. So your money exists in spiritual consciousness. I know this is like high level stuff, but it's important for you to understand. The money itself already exists. You are not looking for something that hasn't existed yet, right? You were looking for something that already exists, and now you were looking for it to exist within your ability to be able to control it. So I'm not asking you to, this isn't about gratitude, like pie in the sky kind of gratitude. Ooh, wouldn't it be like nice if something that doesn't exist at all is finally in existence? Because the reality is, if it exists in your mind, then it exists in the consciousness. And if it exists in the consciousness, then that means it can and does already exist somewhere in reality. It simply hasn't manifested in front of you yet. So if the thing that you are really focused on is having more money, then be grateful for it already. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for my $1,000,000. I'm grateful for my $2,000,000. I'm grateful for my $4,000,000. I'm grateful. Whatever, I'm grateful for my $40. You can be grateful for whatever amount of money you want to be grateful for. Remember, this may not be money that's in your bank account. Like, you can't, I go on my phone. I can't go to the app and look at your phone and see $4,000,000 in your bank account. At the same time, you can be grateful for the $4,000,000 that's going to be in your bank account, because it exists as $4,000,000 and it's yours, and you need to be grateful for it before it's arrived. It doesn't mean it's not there. It just means it's not usable at the moment. That is what's important to remember. So, I want to ask you, have you ever considered being grateful ahead of time? Like, has it ever occurred to you to be grateful for something that doesn't exist yet in your life? It hadn't occurred to me. Like, I really understood the idea of being grateful for what I've already experienced, right? And I really got the idea of being grateful for what I'm experiencing right now, and grateful for having the wisdom of whatever I experienced before to be able to help me now. It never occurred to me to be grateful like ahead of time. It's like, over there is my stuff, and I have to be grateful for it now, not when I have it. That never occurred to me. Like, that never occurred to me. So, and I understood about being grateful, esoterically, like simply being grateful. I'm grateful. The list is so long that simply stating I am grateful suffices, because it's like saying God, right? The whole understanding of God is so vast that our minds can't actually comprehend it. So that's why we have to turn it into a word in order for us to bring it down small enough for our minds to understand it. That's how gratitude is for me. It exists in my being, in a way, in the consciousness, in a way that literally it's like the air that I breathe. So I understand gratitude. It never occurred to me to do it like beforehand. And this is something that is, sorry, I'm thinking three thoughts at the same time. So I may have mentioned in the past, I'm sure I've mentioned that I am a professional practitioner, spiritual practitioner candidate. So I am getting my license as a spiritual practitioner, which is kind of like personal minister level, right? So you've got your spiritual leader of a community, and then you have all the people that have to interact on a daily lower level, not lower because that sounds hierarchical, and it's really more individualized vision versus the vision for the group. I hope you get that. So, as a spiritual practitioner, my responsibility is to see you as the perfect being that you are. My responsibility is to hold that space for you. So we do something called a spiritual mind treatment, which is essentially affirmative prayer. And what that means is you're bringing to me the things that you are seeing in your life, and I'm reflecting back to you what I see. And what I see is you as your whole perfect and complete being your illimitable being, and I am not seeing any of your limits. I'm not seeing any of the pains or struggle. And it's important for you to understand this isn't what they call spiritual bypass, right? Where I'm not recognizing that you are having the experience that you're having. My responsibility is to recognize what you are not currently seeing, because you are focused on what is in your mind now. And I am focusing on what is in consciousness now for you, so that you can hear it and understand it, that it is true. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. So listen, here's an interesting experience that we haven't had yet. Today's stone is a stone I don't own. It's actually a stone that's on my list of stones I want to own. So I thought I would share it with you, because then you will understand why it's so great. So there's a third book in today's lesson. Today I am reading from Crystals, Minerals, and Stones, The Essential Guide, by author Margaret Ann Lembrow. So I'm going to hold the book up so you can see the stone. The stone is morganite. So morganite, isn't it lovely? It's kind of this peachy pinky color. Irresistible love. And here is my favorite phrase ever. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it on a t-shirt. Spiritual affluence. Like all the things, like that's like the drop mic kind of like statement. Spiritual affluence. I accept and receive my spiritual affluence. Right? Okay. All that I need is always within my reach. I am grateful for all that I have. The time is now. I have an abundance of spiritual helpers ready to assist me in all areas of my life. See, I want to stop right here. Think about this. Often, I would say, cognitive dissonance in the idea of being grateful for something that you don't have yet is this idea that how are you going to get it, right? Like, well, how am I going to get that? I don't know how that exists. I don't know how I'm going to get that. I can't see any way to get that. And the deal is, it's not your job to see. It's not your job to figure that out. It's not your job to know how you're going to get it. It is your job to know that you are going to have it, that it already exists, and that it exists for you. That is your responsibility. So that's why we are being grateful for, we have an abundance. We're recognizing our abundance of spiritual helpers. This helps you, morganite helps you connect with spiritual affluence. This is an abundance of spiritual helpers, masters, teachers, loved ones, saints, angels, goddesses, muses, and so on, available at your beck and call. Hold or gaze at morganite to attract spiritual riches. Okay, come on, man. Morganite is literally the stone of what? Rose-colored glasses. Come on, man. I don't even understand how I don't own this stone already. When I was looking through things and doing my research and figuring things out, and I said morganite, and I was like, what the what? This is a stone I need to have right now. This is a stone we need to all be wearing, okay? I am going to find morganite. I will find it in as many ways possible, but I know that I am going to figure out a way to get morganite around my head somewhere, because if it is the stone of rose-colored glasses, right? And it is the stone of your spiritual affluence, everything and everyone that you could possibly ever need to help you on your way is available to you as long as you sit in gratitude for them and it at all times. You don't even know who they are. Have you ever had, okay, so we're getting a little woo right now, but we're already talking about stones. So if you have ever had a tarot reading, right? And you had a card reading of some sort, and it talks about someone that's going to be in your life. It is someone that you don't know who it is yet. However, you do know they exist as an individual somewhere out there. Somewhere out there. I'm not going to go any farther. But I'm just saying, they exist. And now you know that that person is going to be important in your life. So why can't you be like that? Why can't you have that understanding about everything that you are going to have in your life? Your spiritual affluence, your financial affluence, your prosperity in all ways. We got to have this. So there's one more book, because why not add another book? I have so many, but this is one I found recently, and I hadn't read it, and I have to read it. It is called Move Ahead with Possibility Thinking. It's written by a man, Robert H. Schuller, and the back book, look at this. I feel certain. So it doesn't even matter what it says underneath it. It says, I feel certain that any person that will read this book and act on it will be able to achieve anything he or she wants. That is Norman Vincent Peale. That is not from the book. It's from Norman Vincent Peale. It's from the forward. But that statement, I feel certain. How often do you feel certain about something that hasn't happened yet? You feel like you want it to happen. You feel like you hope it'll happen. You just don't know that it will happen. So it's very challenging to our ness to feel certain about something that hasn't happened yet. You feel hopeful about something that hasn't happened yet. And so this practice is not only saying be thankful, be grateful for it. It's really saying you have to be certain of it, isn't it? Because it's saying have gratitude for something that hasn't arrived yet. And you have to be grateful for, you have to feel the gratitude for it. You have to go, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the money. I'm so grateful for this person. I'm so grateful for this experience. I'm so grateful for my trip to Paris. Knowing fully and completely that it is going to happen and you are going to feel grateful for it now. And I think this is a great practice. Because if you're grateful for it now, you can keep holding that gratitude so that by the time that you're having the experience, you can just swim in it because now you're having the experience. Yes? Yes. So Morganite is the way to go. Get that Morganite. I'm looking for it now. I'm going to start at my friend Jason and Chris. They own Coyote Moon here in Baton Rouge. I'm also going to look at their store, Violet Flame BR. Then I have Bohemian Cove. I have lots of places to look. I'm certain that you do. If you're in Denver, you can go to Herbs and Arts. If you're in the Bay Area, you could go see my friends at the Stone Room, either one in Albany or Stone Room 2 in Berkeley. You can see my friend Ali at Healing Stones in Castro Valley. There's lots of places to look. Wherever you are, you can find it. If you can't find it where you live, Look it up online. Find the stones that are going to help you and find this practice, because it will be one of the best gifts you ever give yourself. Thank you for spending today with me. I'm grateful, grateful, grateful for you. I love you very much. And I want you to remember, you are illimitable. There are no possibilities of putting limits on you. So go out and create a life that rocks. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.